Okay folks, Valerie here with one last short row motif tutorial. This one is for the open motif using yarn overs to make holes in the motif. And we're going to start out a little differently than we've started our others. We're going to jump right in with a yarn over and then knit two together. We're going to do that 4 times. So here's the second pair of yarn over and knit two together. Here's the third. And here is the fourth. Okay, then we are going to knit 1. And that is preparation for making our double stitch so that we can turn our work and go back the other way. So just like in the other motifs, we are going to slip that stitch and tug up on the yarn to make the double stitch. And we're going to bring our yarn in front and purl our way across. And we are purling 7 times. Very similar to what we've done in the other stitches. Okay. Now I'm going to make my double stitch the other way, putting my yarn forward there. So I have brought my yarn forward and now I'm going to slip that stitch to make my double stitch. So I slipped it and I'm tugging to give me the 2 legs. Now in order to start the row, I need to do a yarn over. So I'm going to wrap my yarn here and now I'm going to knit 2 together. I kind of use my pointer finger to kind of hold my yarn over in place while I'm inserting my needle here. So I'm knitting these next 2 stitches together. And there we go. So this is the double stitch. And you can kind of see it's got the little X thing over the top. Then I've got my yarn over and then knit 2 together. And now I'm going to yarn over and knit 2 together. Yarn over and knit 2 together. And this brings us to our double stitch from our last round. So what we're going to do now, we're going to yarn over and we're going to knit together the double stitch with the stitch following. Okay, so it kind of almost looks like you're doing 3 stitches together, but really that's only 2 because that's your double stitch plus the regular stitch. Okay, so we did that, and now for good measure we are going to knit 1, okay, because that preps our double stitch for going back. So now we've turned our work and we're going to slip that first stitch and tug on the yarn to make the double stitch, bring our yarn to the front, and we're going to purl 7 stitches. Okay, I'm going to show you this turn one more time. So I'm moving my yarn to the front, turning my work, slipping and tugging that yarn tight to make the double stitch here. And again, because this is the open motif, we're going to do a yarn over. So bringing the yarn up and around, and now we're going to knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, and knit the double stitch and the following stitch together. And then we're going to knit 1. Okay, so you keep going back and forth like that until you get to your next stitch marker. Okay, so I finished knitting across the motif, and you can see it is all the way full, all the way across. The thing that I have left to do now is to purl back across the wrong side. This would be row 6 or 16, depending upon where you are in the pattern, is to purl all the way back, purling my yarn overs and purling all those double stitches. So I'm going to purl my way back. Okay, I am purling my way back across the row, and I just wanted to show you how these double stitches look with the yarn overs right next to them, because they do look a little bit different. So here I have come to a yarn over, and this is very obviously a yarn over, and so I'm going to go ahead and purl that. And then it kind of looks funny because that is kind of the string of the yarn over, but it's also part of the double stitch, right? See, that's the second leg. So I'm still going to purl under both of those and bring my stitch through. It will be a little loose, but it will be fine. Okay, so again, here, this, if you can kind of see, that's the yarn over wrap. I'm going to purl into the yarn over, and then here you can see from the top that this is the double stitch. Okay, so I am going to insert my needle there and bring it through, and that action of bringing it through and over kind of snugs that in. Okay, so I just wanted you to see that because it does look a little weird, and if here I've got a double stitch, I must have pulled it a little tighter when I first did it, so I've got more of the other side of the stitch here across the top. That's totally fine. I just wanted you to see it so that you would know that it's okay. And when I get to the end of my row, I will turn this around. Okay, so here it is. I finished purling back across that motif. This actually is going to look even better when I get the next couple of rows of stockinette on to really solidify it. But that shows you what the open work one looks like and how easy it is to do.